Hey everybody, Commander180 here for episode 2 of Game Defeater, and today I'm going to be talking about bLIZZCON08. So just recently I took a trip down to the Anaheim Convention Center for bLIZZCON08, and I went down there with a couple of my guildies from WoW, and got to see a couple cool things, got to play a couple cool things, and I'm going to give you guys a brief impression of what I got to see and play, so let's just get right into it. So right after we got through the doors of BlizzCon, the first thing we actually did was go directly to the alittle demo booth, and we got to play for at least a good 16 to 17 minutes on the beta servers, and I'm going to give you guys a quick brief impression of what I thought of it. So for the purposes of BlizzCon, they actually put you on a PvP server and started you at level 80. And I think my whole entire party ran as Death Knights, and we immediately went over to Dalaran. So it's beginning to seem pretty obvious that Dalaran is going to blow Shat pretty much out of the water. It seems like it has more content, plus even a little bit more than Shat originally had. It has two parts of the cities, one Alliance, one Horde, so the city is pretty much split down the middle. It has a whole Undercity that is like a dungeon pretty much, and it has all the portals that Shat has, plus a little bit more, I think. But I think right after that, we all pretty much just split up from each other and left Dalaran, and to go off and try to kill something before our time got up. And I think I left Dalaran and went off to a different city to try to go kill something. And it definitely seems like the Death Knights have some really cool new abilities, one of which is an ability called Death Coil, which is a new ability that allows you to pull enemies from a distance, and it kind of works like a warrior's taunt, but pretty much at a distance, and it can focus on one enemy at a time, and it kind of works like a lasso and pulls the enemy towards you, and all of the aggro goes onto you. But there wasn't too much new there. It was just stuff that we already seen from previews and videos and things like that, and also the actual beta that's going on right now. But moving on from that, I think we wandered around the convention for a little bit, looking at some of the people and some of the booths that they had there, until we ran right into the Diablo 3 demo booth. So I wasn't a big fan of Diablo before. I mean, I've played Diablo 2 and Diablo 1, but wasn't too big into it until I played the demo of Diablo 3. And it's looking to be very awesome. What they had there at the show was just pretty much what they showed on the Wizard class trailer that they released during the same time. So the demo pretty much just starts where, that trailer pretty much begins, where you're outside for a little bit, and then you go down into the dungeon, where you're fighting a little bit of these skeletons, and a little bit of ghouls, a little bit of undead dudes, and some imps. But they also had like some other cool enemies, like these big fatty dudes that when they died, they exploded, and all these worms came out of them. And they were also in the original demo footage that they showed when they originally announced Diablo 3. And those guys are pretty cool. But you're on like a quest to go kill this skeleton king dude, and you have to go get his crown and put it on his throne. And we didn't really get to do that. I went with one of my guildies because the rest of them didn't want to go do it. And so it was just the two of us plus two other people that we never met in like a 4-player match. And I think both of us were running as barbarians. And we didn't get to go kill the enemy because we didn't get to kill the boss because I think the other two killed him. But I'm not too sure about that if you got to go kill the Skeleton King at the very end there. But the one thing I walked away from that demo feeling was it definitely feels like Diablo 2. They definitely improved on it, for sure. I mean, they've put so much new technology into it with the AI and, the physics engine and stuff. The graphics look absolutely amazing, just the way they, the lighting actually bounces off the characters and bounces off of the objects in the world. And that goes for the animations as well, just from the animations of those big fat dudes exploding and all the little worms come out of them, all these little blue, like snakes almost come out of them and try to nip at your feet. It's just a moment of panic right in the middle of a fight because there's all these little dudes, just thousands of them attacking you. But moving on from that, I think we left there and hooked up with the rest of our group and just walked around a little more until we went to the Diablo 3 class panel, And they were just talking about some of the new abilities that you'll have in Diablo 3, mainly focusing on the new wizard class, just talking about her new abilities and talking about some of the new gameplay elements that they'll bring in for her. After that, we went right over to the StarCraft 2 demo booth, which we got to play a normal, like, skirmish match, player against the computer. And I think I played as the Terran against the Zerg. And definitely the thing I watched out of that, just like Diablo 3, was it feels like StarCraft. They put lots of effort into making it feel like StarCraft. That doesn't mean that they haven't improved on it, just like Diablo. They improved on, you know, the graphics alone, but also some of the new gameplay elements, like supply depots can actually go underneath the ground now by the click of a button. So you can use those as a heavily strategical asset that you can use. Like in the match I was playing, I actually used them as a barricade in front of this canyon so that the enemy, the Zerg, couldn't rush in and just take me over. So I could also build up my forces and then lower the supply depots and then run out. Unfortunately, they pretty much destroyed me in a matter of seconds. But luckily I got to see some of the new units. One of these was a replacement for the flamethrower dude, which it was at least in the same place as he was in the barracks. Which he was like a big, like, robot dude, and he kind of looked like the C-3PO from Episode 1 of Star Wars, where he has like the wiring all exposed and all the gears and stuff, and he looked pretty cool. But unfortunately I didn't get to use him that much because, like I said, I was pretty much destroyed in a matter of seconds. But after that, I don't think we did too much more that was that notable until later that night, where we went to the contest panel, which the costume contest was actually hosted by Jay Moore, which I thought was pretty interesting. After all the contests were over, I don't think we did too much more. I think we just left that night and got some sleep until the next morning. By getting there on Saturday, we definitely noticed a big change of people. It looked like they had just tons more people came on Saturday, and I think one of the reasons was because it was the weekend. So we really didn't get to too much that day because the lines were just horrendous. The lines weren't too bad on Friday, but it definitely seemed like the lines increased tenfold on Saturday. But we somehow managed to get into a line for Wrath again. And this time we got to play some mages and got to see a couple more new areas. But after that we didn't get to do much more because, like I said, the lines were just horrendous. So we just had to call it an early day and went back to the hotel and rested until later that night, and then came back for the concert. Now, the concert was definitely one of the highlights of the show, by far, for me at least. At the beginning of the concert, they had two comedians come out, and I guess they're pretty funny, but the real stars of the show were 70 Elite Tauren Chieftains and Video Games Live. And I've seen Video Games Live before in their normal show, and this time they were just playing Blizzard songs, obviously, but somehow they managed to make it even better, or pretty much the same as their normal show. So definitely mad props to Blizz on that one. But as you guys can probably just tell, we had lots of fun, and if you guys are thinking about going next time, I highly suggest you do. If you're any type of Blizzard fan at all, it's definitely something that needs to be experienced at least once. So I guess that's going to do it, guys, for episode 2 of Game Defeater. So tune in next time, and I'll see you guys again.